morning everybody. Today we are going to do part 2 of motion along a straight line, that is velocity. Alright, let's look at the board. What is instantaneous velocity? Now the word instantaneous means the velocity at a certain instant, at that point. Okay, now instantaneous velocity is the rate of change of displacement against time. Alright, that means when you differentiate the displacement, I will get velocity. So v is ds dt. Alright, let's look here. So if let's say you're given displacement equation and you want to find velocity, you just do ds dt, differentiate this one, so you get 12t plus 4, right? So this is your velocity equation. And velocity is also a function of time. Okay, so it comes in an equation like this. Okay, number 2. Velocity is a vector quantity. A vector quantity means it must have magnitude and direction. So magnitude will be the units lah. Usually it's meters per second. Alright, and direction will be either positive or negative. Alright, so if a particle starts from O, okay, this is a particle, and it moves in this direction, assuming direction to the right is positive, then your answer will be positive v. Positive v means it's moving to the right. Okay, and if the particle moves to the left side, the opposite direction, then it will be negative v. So positive negative shows us the direction of the movement of a particle. Alright, number 3. Now all these things here are again very useful when you do your questions. So you got to memorize all those things in the boxes here in order to do the questions. When you see some magic words like this, when a particle is at rest, when you see the magic word at rest, then you can use v equals to 0. Okay, and you can substitute inside the equation and find time. For example, this question, okay, v equals 0, you want to find when is the particle is at rest. So the equation v is 12t plus 4. All you need to do is sub v is 0. So you get 12t plus 4 equals to 0. And from there you can find the times in seconds. Okay, so that you can find the time when the particle is at rest or when the particle stops. Alright, second one. The initial velocity, when you see the word initial, this is the magic word, you better substitute t equals 0 in the equation. You substitute t in the equation and you will find the initial velocity. For example here, if I put t0, then you will get v equals to 4. So you can find the initial velocity of the particle. Okay, that one, when you see the particle moves to the left, to the right, okay, right means this side, so you know it's positive v. So you use v greater than 0, all positive values of v. And you can do inequality. For example, this 12t plus 4 greater than 0. Then you can do your inequality and find your value of range of values of t. Okay. When a particle moves to the left, you use v less than 0 because on the left v is negative. Okay. Alright. Then when you see the particle passes through O again, okay, when it passes through O, we use s equals to 0. This one we have already learned in your displacement as well, so it's the same thing. Okay. Then number 4 is something new. How do we get the displacement if we already have a velocity equation? Okay, for example, you are given in the question a velocity. Okay, velocity equation. Let's say they gave you v equals to 2t squared plus 6 or something like that. You want to find displacement. So you need to find the s. So how? You are going backwards now. From v you want to go to s. From s to v you did differentiation, ds dt, right? This way you do ds dt. So now you want to go back that way, you have to integrate the v. Okay, so we integrate the 2t squared plus 6 dt. Then what will we get here? When we integrate, we get 2t cubed over 3 plus 6t plus c, right? Because this is an indefinite integration, you must have plus c at the back. Now what you must do is, you must find the value of c. Now how to find the value of c? It all depends on the question. Now if they say the particle started from O, okay, then you can use when t is 0, s is 0, you sub s0, t0 and you will get c also equals to 0. Okay, but sometimes in the question they will say the particle starts at 12 meters, for example. Okay, that means when t is 0, s is 12. Then you have to substitute sub t0, s is 12. So all depends on the question. T will always be 0 because it's starting point, but s not necessarily 0. Okay, it all depends on the questions. So these two information you take and sub s and t to find your c. Once you get your c, you can write back the s equation. 2t cubed over 3 plus 6t. Let's say you found c is 4. So you put plus 4. Okay, it's just example. Okay, so from V, alright, from the V, you can get a S. From the velocity equation, you can get a displacement equation also by integration. Alright? Okay, now we go to number 4. One moment. Okay, now we are going to number 5. Okay, number 5. Displacement is maximum or minimum or at turning point. Remember, we learned in displacement that ds dt is equal to 0, right? Alright, maximum minimum point ds dt is 0. But now we know that ds dt is equal to v. Therefore, we can use v equals to 0 in this kind of situations. Okay? Then number 6, when particles reverses direction, when you see the word reverses direction, see what happens is a particle is moving and then it turns. Okay, at this moment, at this instantaneous second, when it's turning, it will stop and turn. So you can use v equals to 0 here also because it stops at that instant. Okay? So when you see the word reverses, you can use v equals to 0 to solve the question. Okay, number 7. When particle P and Q meet. Now this is case where you have two particles. Let's say this particle P moving like this and particle Q moving like this, right? And they will meet somewhere, right? You want to find when do they meet, what time do they meet. So you can use SP equals to SQ. That means the displacement equation for P, write it down, equals displacement equation of Q, and then you solve this and find T. Okay? Right. Number 8. Distance traveled during the nth second. Okay, let's say you want to find what's the distance traveled during the 6th second. That means you can integrate from 5 to 6. Okay? If they say distance traveled during the 10th second, then you integrate from 9 to 10. You integrate V and you will get your answer. This is for distance traveled during a certain 1 second there. Okay, number 9. Total distance traveled in the first n seconds. Okay, this one again, just like in displacement, we had two methods. Here also, velocity, you have two methods. The first method is number line method. Okay, number line method is the same as what we did last time. You need to find S as starting point. That means you sub t equals 0 into the S equation, you get the S1. Then you have to find S again, S2 at turning point, you sub V equals 0 there. Okay, you can find the S. And ending point depends on the question. If they say first 8 seconds, if n is 8, then you need to sub t equals to 8 and you can find S again. Okay, once you got all the 3 S's, we did like last time, we draw the number line. Okay, let's say S1 was -2. Okay, that means this side -2 meters. Okay, your particle started here. And then S2, let's say, is 10 meters. So it went all the way here to 10. Okay, here it will turn. It will turn. Alright, here it will turn. And ending point is maybe, here is, let's say, 3 meters. Okay, so it will go back to 3 meters. And it will go here and stop here. So this is the movement of your particle in the first 8 seconds. Then from here you want to find total distance. It's all about adding up the distance from here to here. Okay, that is 2 plus 10, that is 12. And from here to here, this part is 10 minus 3, 7. So you get 19 meters as your answer. Okay, this is the number line method. It's actually a revision. We have done it in displacement also, right? Okay, you can stick to the same method everywhere. It will be better. Okay. Anyway, method 2 is a graph method. But in this topic of velocity, you can draw a graph of velocity time. Velocity against time graph. So for that, you need to form a table. Of course, your velocity will be given something, let's say like that. So what you put, start from 0, time 0, 1, all the way until the end. So if it's the, where is this, 8 seconds, then n will be 8. So the last value is 8. You substitute 1 by 1. When t is 0, you put 0 here, you get v equals to 3. So you put this answer here. T is 1, you sub the 1 and you will get the v and put here. Put all the v values. Okay? Once you found all the values, you have to plot the graph. Okay, you draw your graph on a graph paper and you start plotting. When t0, v3, so 0, 3. Okay, let's say here. This is your first coordinate. When t is 1, v is something else. Okay, 1 and here. So you plot everything. Okay, let's say you got this graph up to here lah. Alright. Okay. After that, you will join all the coordinates and get your graph. Okay, this is my graph. Okay, now finally, I want to find total distance. It is actually equals to area below the curve. And how do you get this area below this curve? You remember integration chapter we learned? Yes, you need to integrate from 0 to n. So n is 8. 0 to 8 v dt. You integrate 0 to 8 v dt. Depends on the picture, and you will get the area. Let's say your area goes down below. Let's say it even goes down here. That means you need to add this part. You better put modulus for that part. You find area A, area B, and add up. So, which method would you prefer to use? Method 1 or method 2? Well, I would recommend you stick to method 1. It's shorter. It doesn't take so much of your time. Okay, I would recommend method 1. Whenever you want to find total distance traveled in the first n seconds, use the number line method and you should get the answers faster. Okay? Alright. Alright, now we are looking at example. Let's look at this question. A particle is moving with displacement s equals to 3 cubed minus 6t squared. Find the displacement of the particle when it is instantaneously at rest. Okay, first thing is you must identify what you want to look for. You are looking for s, and what is given? They said this is at rest. So when it's at rest, remember v is equals to 0. You're going to use this. Alright, but now you want to use v equals 0. You don't have v in the question, right? So you need to find the v first. So how do you get v from s? We differentiate. Okay, so we differentiate by s. Okay, so this is your s, 3 cubed minus 6t squared. You do ds over dt, which is the v. You get 3t squared minus 12t. Correct? And then this is equals to 0. V equals to 0. So we put this one is equals to 0. Then we take out the 3t. We are left with t minus 4. And we find t. Here t is 0. Here t is 4. Okay. This one is at starting point. At starting point. So we don't have to use this. This is the one we use. Now we know already when the particle is instantaneously at rest at t is 4 seconds. Okay, but a person says find the displacement. So I need to find s. What I do, I take this 4 and sub into the s equation. Sub the 4 here. Okay, so you get s equals to 4 cubed minus 6 times 4 squared, and this will give me negative 32 meters. Okay, what does the negative 32 mean? It means that the particle is on 32 meters on the left of O. Okay, because the negative shows that it's on the left of O. Alright, next one. Find the range of values of t when the particle moves to the right. So the magic word here is to the right. So remember, when it moves to the right, you can either use s greater than 0 or v greater than 0. On the right, v is positive. Okay, so we use this information, v greater than 0 here. And what is v? we got V here. Where's our V? This is our V. So we put 3t squared minus 12t greater than 0. Then we factorize this. Same thing, we get 3t and t minus 4 greater than 0. So t is 0 and 4. So remember, this is an inequality. So you need to draw. You can draw this side. Okay, you need to draw this. 0 and 4. So 0 must be here, 4 must be here. And look at the symbol with greater than. So above this area and this area, right? Okay. So your answer here will be t less than 0 or t more than 4. But is it possible to get t less than 0? Can we say time is negative? No. So we just ignore this answer and your final answer is this, t greater than 0. Okay, you can write it down at the bottom, t must be greater than 4, sorry, greater than 4 seconds. Okay, that's how you find the range of values of t. Are you all okay? Alright, so now we see another example, example 2. Okay, give me a moment. Alright, example 2. A particle moves in a straight line. Its displacement from a fixed point O after t seconds is given. So this is given to you as equation for S is given. Find, okay, part A, its velocity when it passes through O again. Alright, so what we want to find is the V, the velocity. What is your V? When it passes through O again. When it passes through O, remember your notes, we should put S equals 0 here, right? Yeah, you're supposed to have memorized it. Passes through O means its displacement was 0 there. So we can use S is 0. So you have S, so we just take the S, 2t minus t squared plus 8 equals to 0. And we now calculate, factorize it. Okay, we can put the t squared minus 2t minus 8 equals 0. Okay, we make it all times negative. Then you factorize 2t, 4 times 2 minus 4 plus 2. Okay, okay, so therefore from here t is 4 and t is negative 2. Okay, of course t cannot be negative, so you can cancel this off, and this is the answer we should accept. Okay, but the question says find its velocity. Now we only have time. We have to sub the time into the v equation. And do we have v? V is equals to ds dt. Remember, differentiate the s. So when you differentiate the s, you get 2. Here you get minus 2t. And that's about it, right? Okay, this is your v. You differentiate the s, you will get this. And then this is equals to, now you got the time is 4, so you're going to sub the time 4 in here. So you get 2 minus 2 times 4, which is equals to minus 6 meters per second. So this is your answer. Okay, its velocity when it passes through O again is minus 6 meters per second. That means it's going to the left side. Okay, then we have part B. Alright, distance travelled in the 4th second. So if I'm going to use the S formula, I can either use the S formula or the V. So S formula for distance travelled will be S4 minus S3. Okay, distance travelled within the 4th second. S4 minus S3, and this one you will do, and it is modulus because sometimes the value is negative, you make it positive. So how we get S4? Simple. All the t's are subbed with 4. Okay, so here will be 2 times 4 minus 4 squared plus 8. Okay, and minus S3. So all the t's here are substituted with 3. So it's 2 times 3 minus 3 squared plus 8. Okay, when you calculate this, you will get your answer as 5 meters. Okay, so that's how we find. Now to find distance travelled in the 4th second, another method is by integrating from 3 to 4 v dt. You also can do this. When you take the V, this is your V, and put it inside here. Okay? I'm not going to show you in detail, but this is how it's done. The answer will be the same. Okay? 5 meters. You can either do this method or this method. It's up to you. Okay? Alright, now we go on to the next part C. Okay, now we want to find total distance traveled in the first 7 seconds. When you do total, you need to find S in the starting point, turning point and ending point, right? The 3 S's. Okay, so we start first. At starting point, we use t equals 0. Alright, we use t equals 0 and find S. So all you need to do is sub the t0, you get S equals to 8 meters. Then at turning point, we use ds dt or v equals to 0. We use v is 0. Now remember the v from here. V is differentiation of this, which is 2 minus 2t. Alright. Now we put v is 0. And from here I'll get 2t is equals to 2. Alright. So t is equals to 1. Okay. But not, I want s. I don't want t. So I take this t and sub this t into here. So we get 2 times 1 minus 1 squared plus 8. And how much is that? 2 minus 1, 9 meters. And so we got this S, we got this S, and one more. At ending point. Okay? Ending point, look at the question. First 7 seconds, therefore use t equals to 7. Okay, use t equals to 7. Sub into here also to get your S. So 2 times 7 minus 7 squared plus 8, and this is equivalent to let me see, this is equivalent to negative 27 meters. Okay, done. Draw the number line. Okay, your number line. Now you have to place the particle in the positions they are supposed to be in. So starting at 8 meters. So 8 meters means this side. So roughly maybe say 8 is here. So let's say the particle starts here. Then it moves to turning point, which is 9. Okay, so which is 9 meters. So the particle turns here. Here's 9. Alright. And then it ends at negative 27. So from O, negative will be somewhere here. Negative 27 meters. So the particle has moved all the way to here and stops here. So this is the movement of the, shows the movement of the particle. Okay, it has moved this direction. And how do you get total distance now? Total distance will be this distance from here to here, which is 8 to 9, 1 meter. Okay, and the distance from here right up to here. Okay, this whole thing, how far is that? It is from here to here is 9. Okay, just this part is 9, and here to here is 27. So 9 plus 27. So which is equals to 36 meters. So this is your total distance traveled. Okay, so that's it. This is another example. So all questions are similar. All you need to do is identify from the question what you want to find and what information is given, and use them, and you can get your answers. Okay, now sometimes when you are doing total distance traveled, and you will find that at turning point there's you don't get a turning point, you don't get a value for t, or you get t negative or something. If t is negative, meaning there is no turning point, meaning the particle moves from here to here, that's it, doesn't turn anywhere. Okay, sometimes you can have that kind of situation. Alright, thank you, thanks for listening. This is velocity, we are done. Next lesson we will do acceleration.